We are back from the break and we're back for more pivotal change, for more Olga and some more great conversations. We've been talking about the perspective and the mindset advantage and a little bit about hard decision making and how to push yourself through those decisions. So if you're just joining us, you missed out on some good stuff you're going to want to go back and watch. But Olga, I want to move on to this next question with you and make sure I can fit as much of your brain in this episode as possible. And I know that along this path, everyone that is an entrepreneur and has ever owned a business knows that there's up and downs. So I want to take a moment to talk about a down, maybe a hardship or a failure that you experienced, some type of setback maybe. And just tell me, what is one hard lesson that you learned from a failure or something that really shaped you more into the business leader that you are today?
I think, well, we have failures every day, okay? That's for sure. But I think growing without a structure is very dangerous,
Hmm.
because that's the biggest failure you can face. When you open a business and you don't create a structure, and you start thinking as an entrepreneur, okay, like creating processes to be able to scale, that becomes a failure, because that way you're going to be stuck to the business every day, and it will depend on you 100%. That was happening to me at the beginning, okay? It was me, like, oh, it's Olga, oh, it's Olga. And then I realized, okay, what if I die? What if I get sick? What if, so I started realizing that if I want to grow, I need to create a structure for me. And not having that was becoming a failure to me and to my business.
Hmm. That is a really good lesson. And, we've kind of talked about things like that. You and I actually have talked about that before. And we know that you cannot be the business. Now, you should be the business as far as branding is going, but you should not be the business as far as operation and work goes.
Correct.
And if something were to happen to you, and I always use the what if you got hit by a bus example, would the business come to a screeching halt? And for most entrepreneurs, it is. And I think you said something really cool that I want to import, that growing without structure is really dangerous. And that you need structures for you to delegate and pass on work and to train and teach and grow other people and to expand. And maybe you, the owner, isn't needed to operate the company, but just to be the visionary that grows the company. Is that
Right.
the second component true for you as well?
Yes, yes, definitely. Definitely. And let me add something there. And probably people want to write this down. SOPs, standard operating procedures. That's the key to avoid that type of failure.
Love it. So there's a good cliche. So in law enforcement and military, there's a saying that says, you never rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. And the business translation for that is you never rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your systems
Right.
or the
Exactly.
SOPs. I think
Exactly.
that's a huge point that you're making for us. So, all right, let's talk a little bit more about systems and managing and hiring and things like that. So
Yeah.
you have two different countries to be thinking about here. You have Colombia
Yeah.
and the United States. So, as an entrepreneur that is managing teams in both the US and Colombia, how do you approach hiring? How do you make those decisions? How do you ensure that success and adaptability is going to be maintained when you're not even there?
Well, actually, you need to think about two different cultures, okay? But with the same goal, because the goal is the same. It doesn't matter where you have the team. The goal is the client. The goal is for the business to make money and to be profitable, okay? But the cultural part of the business is how you implement the values of the business into that culture. And the fact that I am also Colombian helped me shape that, like, easier, let's say, okay? But in the United States, for example, I realized that people love to talk with people in the United States. Okay, like, oh, they speak the language, oh, they understand the business, oh, so my client facing, it's in the United States.
Okay.
And my training with the United States team, it's different. It's more like in a mentoring side, like, oh, let me teach you how to treat the clients or answer these questions, or more mentorship. On the other side, Colombian team is more, it's more operational, like, oh, we need to establish the processes, implement them, and they become those operational, team that help us thrive with the clients. So it's a different thing. Okay. It's a different approach, but I got it that way. I was like, okay, I need to understand the clients. I need to understand the people in the United States, my team, and I need to understand the people from Colombia. Another thing, Ryan, that is extremely important is that when you hire people in different countries, and that's my perspective, the benefits should be the same. Okay. You don't differentiate them. Oh, it's because they live in the United States. So no, the salaries need to be competitive. You need to offer them benefits. You need to offer them, vacations, days off, 6 days, everything that they feel human beings.
Mhm.
So that's
Uh,
another thing that's another approach.
I think what you're doing is, one, you're speaking as just a genuine human with lots of integrity. I think that's really pouring through the screen to me right now. But I want to go back and make sure I understand something. So I'm huge into making sure that you have the right cultural fit for your company. And there's a million different cultural fits out there for the company, but you're talking a little bit more about culture, which, so in Colombia, if I'm hearing right, they need much more of an emphasis on operations and systems and things like that, because as you said in the earlier segment, they're already relation based people. Where in the United States, we're focusing more like, oh, we got the operations down, we know how to follow an SOP, but we might not know how to talk to a
My
customer as well
client.
and massage the relationship as well and work through some of that friction. We're more transactional based. And so you're training two different components and two different cultures to maximize your success while treating people equally across the board. That's incredible. I mean, man, I hope people are taking notes. uh, that's really good. So,
Another thing, Ryan, let me add something like a parenthesis. It's extremely important that people in the United States, they take, let's say, 3 months to get trained. But people in Colombia, they take 6 months. Okay. So we need to understand that as business owners, because sometimes when we hire, we want to have immediate results. That's not going to happen. Okay. Not here in the United States, not in Colombia, not in Mexico, not anywhere. Okay. You need to train your people. And that, I think that's the most important factor in business success. Train your team as you will be trained if you were someone new, because they don't know anything about the client. They don't know anything about you, about your business, about your story.
I love that. And what you're warning people against is having expertise bias. I've been doing this for 10 years, 20 years, so everybody should know what I know, right? No, you have to speak back down to that basic level.
Yeah.
It's their day one or their year one or their year three, and you're on year 30. Well,
Right.
sorry.
Right.
You have to meet the expectations of a first year person, not of a 30-year person. So I really appreciate you knowing that, because I think we just get caught up with the speed of the industry and the work and stuff like that. And I just expect maybe my guy, for let's talk taxes. My guy's been through 2 tax seasons, and I just expect him to know how to handle the special depreciation schedule. And it's like, wait a minute, he's only done 2 because it's not that common. Okay, I need to hit pause. He hadn't been doing this for 15 years or whatnot. So great point. Great point. Let me ask you about looking to the future. So you're establishing, the hiring, the management, and the different cultural trainings and the timelines and how all of that changes. So your business, I'm certain by knowing that you're going to try to keep growing and increasing your bandwidth, your efficiency, and ultimately the effective work that you produce and the high level of service. So where do you see your business, both here and in Colombia? Are they in tandem in the next 5 years?
We have a joke in the firm, and we are like, oh, we're going to be the number 25 accounting firm in the United States. However, we're going to be the best in customer service. Okay.
Hmm.
So that's a joke that we, do around. And it's not only in the United States, in Colombia too, they also say it. So how we envision the business in the next 5 years is to get the right clients. Like, I'm not thinking about, oh, I'm gonna have a revenue of $20 million. No, that's not how I think about it. Okay. What I think about it is, okay, how many good clients that are from my niche I'm gonna get in the next 5 years. Okay. And how my employees, my team, are going to grow with those new clients. Okay, because I need more resources for that. So I think that's my main approach on how I see my projections for my business. Now, the other thing that it's, I think, a goal for everyone is leverage AI. Okay. Because
Yeah.
AI is a reality. Okay. It's not going anywhere. And we need to learn about AI, even though we don't like it. Okay. So we need to understand how AI is going to impact our businesses. And that's how I have been so proactive by learning everything about AI in the past year. So that's another goal of mine. Like, okay, if AI is here and it's not going anywhere, how can I use it for our firm's advantage? That's
That's
another
beautiful.
like projection.
Let me paraphrase this back. So, one, you're claiming it's a joke, but I know that if everyone has vision alignment, those comments can become reality. You want to be a top 25 firm, and even if you're 25th, you want to be number one in customer service. What an awesome mindset that you're seeking out clients not based to increase revenue, but to increase the quality of niche clients that you serve. That's a fantastic statement because then the money will come. If you have better people, better clients, the money's going to be there. So we just have a few moments of time left on this episode. Give me the most valuable lesson that you've learned that you want somebody else to say, hey, on your path, do this or don't do this. Give me a quick nugget before we have to cut to break.
Well, I would say um, don't hire fast.
Mm, love it.
Okay.
Hire slow,
Hire slow. Okay.
be intentional, right?
Yeah, very slow. Okay. And do your cash flow
Love it. Love it. Great piece.
every day. Monitor your cash flow, please. That's the key. Profit rich, cash poor. I see it every day.
Yep. That's a common one as well. Well, Olga, thank you so much. So if somebody wanted to know more about you, maybe they want to get a hold of you and use your services, how can we find you and how can we get a hold of you if we want more?
Of course, I have a LinkedIn account. I don't know it by heart, okay, but you can search it for Olga Hurtado, and you'll see this beautiful face in the picture. So you'll just, you can connect with me and send me a message. I also have an email which is very complicated. I don't know, Ryan, if you can share it with your team, or in LinkedIn you can find that information as well.
Gotcha. We'll get it. And then you have a website as well?
Yes, I do. It's for the firm. Okay. I'm sorry. It's www.neatbooksllc.com. So you can find me there too. There's a button there that for my email or for contact us. So any one of my team, from my customer success team can, get an appointment with us. Can help you get an
Perfect. Olga,
appointment.
thank you so much for coming on the show and everyone else. We're only at the halfway point. So sit tight. We've got more pivotal change coming right after this.
Thank you, Ryan.